Hi everyone, my name is Uliana Bashchuk. I'm experienced designer at Eleks, as already mentioned, and today I want to discuss a very important topic, and it is how to deliver a better experience on a shoestring budget. How often have you heard, being a designer, that you cannot talk to the users or do some preliminary research because your company or customer has limited budget for that? Such activities just do not fit in the development and into the budget. Or that you cannot spend an additional week or two just talking to people and sticking post-its to the wall because we have to start development as soon as possible and launch our MVP version till some X day. Or just being a business owner, how often have you told the team that you have a complete understanding of what your customer wants, how your users behave, since you have huge experience in the team and have been involved in this domain for decades. Or another case is having a startup idea. You say that you have talked about your startup to several colleagues, friends, or even potential investors, and everyone liked it. Well, maybe that's true. It will work out perfectly, and at the end, this will be a great success. But what if not? What if your team will spend months to a year developing a visually better version of an already existing solution, just to figure out that the gap was not in the interface itself, but in the process overall? Or what if being in this business for so much time, it makes you kind of blind to some innovative approaches? Or you know the state of affairs, you know how things were handled for ages, but what if the users have changed? What if they are doing hundreds of minor activities on a regular basis, and you just overlook the opportunities for improvement and for automation, and that's why maybe for also cost reduction. What if when talking about your startup idea, you were biased and maybe even somehow obsessed with that, and you tried to pitch it instead of asking right questions, and you didn't manage to uncover real intentions? From my perspective, these are the main reasons we need to encourage preliminary research. We need to encourage discovery phases and usability testing in the product development cycle. Even if the situation is difficult, like now, it is worth spend more time for preparation and conduct these research activities online. As you will know, there are countless methods for research, ideation, prioritization. Some require more time, others require personal presence. You can take these activities as they are or adjust them right to fit your needs and to fit your available resources. Based on my experience, I tried for today to define some key activities that could be done online, and that will definitely boost your business alignment and your understanding of the users. I have grouped them by the business type and maturity level of the solution, and here are three most common situations that I want to cover today. First is a startup with just an idea. Then business in Excel, it is kind of metaphor for small businesses that have been using some multi-purpose tools to manage the process inside the company. And now they are coming to the next level, and they need a custom solution that will cover their specific needs. And a third group would be outdated enterprise solution. It is for the bigger companies where they want to optimize the workflow, raise satisfaction rate of the employees, and maybe gain some meaningful analytics after all. Okay, starting from the startup idea. If you don't know where to start and how to shape your research, you can do assumption smash exercise. Basically, what you do is you collect your existing insights and then separate the actual facts from assumptions. You define which of assumptions need validation and add the gaps if you found any. These two sections on the bottom, gaps and validation, they will form your research plan. And to be honest, this exercise takes like around 30 minutes and provides so much value. So great point to start. I believe that at the stage of just an idea, of an utmost importance is the user profiling. You need to have a clear understanding of who is your target customer and which needs you want to cover for them. At this point, you don't want to be too generic. If the answer to your question about the potential user is something like, I don't know, all teenagers or all unemployed people, or any other group that can incorporate at least 10 types of contrasting characters, you will just find yourself in the situation when you are interviewing more and more respondents, you collect more and more controversial insights. And at the end result, you will spread your attention to too many areas, and none of the users will be satisfied with it to such level to recommend it further. Here are some activities for profiling purposes. First, well-known persona. Persona is, as many of you know, is a hypothetical archetypal user that helps you to frame your target group. What it does is that provides you with the basic guidelines for the future kind of evaluation of decisions and results. Usually it is based on some prior market research, and you may say that market research is another additional activity. Yes, but on the other hand, it is actually a part of idea itself and a reason for this idea to appear. That's why you invite all the team representatives who have some information and some insights about the users. Most probably, you will form several personas with different backgrounds, pain points, and frustrations. In this case, my advice would be, especially for the startup, the following. If you are not sure about your idea, you need further investigation, you want to validate it, you can choose one persona and go talk to these people. Now you will definitely know where to look for the representatives, and because you have narrowed the circle, you won't get lost in the collected information. It is possible in online. There are several services and also blogs. You just need to know who are you looking for. In case you are already sure about your idea, using persona, you can validate your decision. You can create solution that will definitely make at least one group of people so happy and their life so much easier that they will recommend it further. And you can widen your circle of customers by just exploring new personas. Empathy mapping is a similar approach, which can be organized around the famous canvas with the head, like this. What the user thinks, feels, says, and does. Empathy is also can be gained by this M3 exercise, where you define mission, mind frames, and methods, or any other similar exercise. There are a lot of them. Depending on amount and quality of the info you have, these profiling activities will take you from 30 minutes to 1 hour. So you won't take that much time of your stakeholders, your team, your decision makers. Yes, it will require some preparation, but still it's worth it. Yeah, next is value proposition canvas as part of the business model canvas. It's telling you the story of how your user of how sorry of how you are creating the value for your user and for your customers. Again, you will start by defining your customer. Again, the needs, again, the task, pains, maybe some negative experiences, some expected benefits. And then for the customer job, you will list the products and services which should describe also how your product relieves these pains, how your product provides added value. And by doing so in form of one session, you can build up a vision of how you are going to deliver this value to the future customer. Again, one-time activity, huge step forward towards understanding your users. Customer journey map, as was already mentioned by Katerina. Maybe I won't focus on that because we have some time limitations. Okay, whatever it is you do, there will be most certain somebody on the market offering similar service or product. And it is crucial for you to know who they are, what do they offer, and how do they communicate this value? What are the areas for improvement? And the most important, how is your solution better or different? We usually do it in form of report, but to fit it on a budget, it doesn't have to be that deep and detailed, at least in competitor overview. When talking about startups or new projects, it's worth to spend some time and validate the idea with the resources you have, because there is no perfect idea. It's all about defining the customer, forming the value proposition, testing it, and refining it. In the modern world, and given the situation with COVID and all of this happening, these activities and many more can be performed in online mode, which requires, of course, like hours of preparation on the one hand, but it eliminates travel expenses on the other hand. Another case is when you need to design a solution for a company with an already formed process, roles, some internal culture. These are mostly, as I can observe, some small to medium businesses that are growing. And the main idea here for a designer is to get complete understanding of how this business is operated right now and define the areas for improvement. Yeah, stakeholder interviews, no wonder this is a common activity before any project. And I won't focus that much on this activity, just want to highlight that if possible, have a set of separate short calls with each of the stakeholders, especially the ones who are involved in decision making. Because by doing so, you will get the individual project vision, and you can take into account several points of view. Similar to assumption smash at the previous group we discussed, this will provide you with a list of current tasks and workflows, success criteria, and some expectation. With the limited budget and travel restrictions, it won't be possible to conduct user shadowing or contextual inquiry, but you can try user interviews or surveys. For this type of companies, this shouldn't be a problem to provide you access to the users, because they are trying to optimize their internal processes. And usually, not always, but usually the users are the employees. And at least you can request some online sessions or possibility to conduct survey. And when done properly, it can provide you with understanding of the most problematic tasks to fulfill and provide you with a lot of meaningful insights about the user's everyday work life. As is and to be scenario, current business can be described in the form of as is scenario, really similar to customer journey map. And what you can do then, together with the team, you can map the activities and features of your future solution into to-be scenario. Here you can see an example. Basically, you visually align each step of how it is handled now into the future process. And this way you ensure that you haven't missed anything and everything is covered. Afterwards, these activities can be prioritized and formed into a backlog. This can be also done online, as almost every other exercise I have mentioned today. But it will take a little bit more time, may vary from 4 to 8 hours, can be split into several sessions. It depends on the situation and the complexity of the business. The benefits are the following, like team alignment, common understanding of the project, of the future steps, a clear vision of the to develop solution, and it also saves a lot of time in the future for upcoming clarifications and refinements. And the third group, we will be talking about big to huge enterprises who also have already established internal processes, but already with some custom software solution. Times goes by, business changes, and long story short, this software solution becomes complicated, illogical, outdated. Some activities used for companies with no custom solution can be applied here as well. Other than that, you can do consistency inspection. If the company has multiple products in the same product line, the content, the interactions, if they are consistent, they will help you to reduce the learning curve and also minimize the usability problems. Another type of usability inspection is heuristic evaluation. You as usability expert can judge each element of the current interface according to well-known established usability principles. As a result, you will have a report which describes the parts which are performing well and others that need improvement. A disadvantage may be that using this method, you won't have chance to reveal some issues beyond the basic usability problems. Yeah, okay, I will maybe skip this step because this one is more interesting. Why do I talk so much about usability and how can the business benefit from it? Here you can see an example which I've prepared for one of our customers to answer these questions. I took one of the most common tasks performed within the solution and wrote down each action needed to complete this task. You can see the screenshot to the left. Then, using usability evaluation method, I explained common mistakes and ways for optimization. On the right side of the screen, you can see the flow with the applied updates. Because there was no possibility for testing, I just took the minimum values like 2 seconds for a click and something like 4 seconds for the input. And after the calculation, we saw that the second updated flow takes 45% less time. Like we had 3 minutes before, and now it's like 1 minute 40 seconds. You know, the values here are small. What is 2 minutes time in terms of a big business? But this is one minor task. You have to remember this. This is one minor task, repeated on the regular basis by almost all of the users of this solution. And then we can raise the question, what if the whole solution was optimized? Will that bring the benefits for the business? Okay, and to sum up, I just want to highlight, it is not about the budget you have, it is about you aiming to deliver better experience. And you will find activities and tools for that every time. Thank you for your attention, and I hope it was interesting and relevant for you.